You know, in the skies over the Middle East, there's a different kind of war being fought. It's not about soldiers, it's about economics. The US has been spending millions to defend against really cheap drones. But now, an unexpected player, someone forged in a totally different conflict, is stepping into the ring with a weapon that might just change the entire game.
Okay, so this slide right here, this gets right to the absolute heart of the problem. To stop a drone that costs maybe $20,000, the United States has been using a $4 million Patriot missile. Just think about that for a second. That's a 200-to-1 cost difference. It's just insane math, and you can't win a war with math that bad.
And here's the thing. This crazy imbalance isn't an accident. Oh no, it's a very deliberate strategy. Iran has basically been waging a war of economic attrition. The whole idea is to force their adversaries to bleed money, to drain their treasury, while they spend next to nothing.
And let me tell you, this strategy is brutally effective. The Shahed drones are cheap, you can launch them in huge swarms, and it becomes a numbers game. Even if you shoot down 99% of them, it only takes that one getting through to cause major damage. And sadly, this isn't just a theory. 6 American service members were killed by one of these drones. That's the real tragic human cost of this lopsided fight.
And the financial cost? It's just staggering. According to Ukrainian President Zelenskyy, the U.S. burned through 800 Patriot missiles in just the first 3 days of a recent conflict. At $4 million a pop, well, you do the math. That's $3.2 billion. That's a price tag that even the Pentagon can't keep paying forever.
So the U.S. is facing this massive economic and security nightmare. What do? Well, a request for help went out, and the country that picked up the phone is one that has become the world's leading expert in drone warfare, pretty much out of sheer survival.
And that's why Ukraine is the perfect ally for this. For years, they've been defending against the exact same Iranian-made drones that Russia has been using against them. They know their flight paths, they know their weaknesses, and most importantly, they've developed specific, battle-tested ways to take them down.
And look, this isn't some rumor or speculation. President Zelenskyy came right out and confirmed it. He said the United States officially asked for their help, and Ukraine's response was, yes, immediately. They were ready to go with a real, tangible solution.
Now, it's really important to understand this part. Ukraine isn't just shipping a box of drones and a user manual. No, they are providing the whole package. They're sending their advanced interceptor drones, and they're sending over 200 of their top specialists to the Middle East to actually train U.S. and allied forces on the ground.
So what is this magic bullet? What's this revolutionary piece of tech? Well, let's meet the drone that's about to completely flip this conflict on its head.
It's called an FPV, or a first-person view, interceptor drone. Now, if you've ever seen those wild drone racing videos online, you're already halfway there. An operator puts on VR goggles, and suddenly, they are in the drone's cockpit. Their one and only mission? Hunt down the enemy drone and just slam right into it, taking it out in a blaze of glory.
And the specs on Ukraine's top model, the Sting, are just incredible. We're talking a top speed of nearly 200 miles an hour. It uses AI to lock onto a target so the pilot just has to get close. And get this, it has a proven in-combat hit rate of 80 to 90% against those Shahed drones. This thing is a purpose-built drone killer.
But honestly, all those impressive specs, they're not the most important number on the screen. Here it is, the number that changes everything. While that Patriot missile costs $4 million, a Ukrainian Sting interceptor costs about $1,000. That's not a typo, $1,000.
And that one number, $1,000, is what allows the U.S. and its allies to take the entire economic rulebook of this war and just completely shred it.
So let's look at the before picture, the old way. To send out a small swarm of 5 drones might cost Iran, let's say, $250,000. But to stop them, it costs the U.S. $20 million. You don't have to be an economist to know who wins that trade every single time.
Okay, now for the after picture, the new way. Iran's cost is exactly the same, but the U.S. cost to intercept them, it plummets from $20 million all the way down to about $10,000. All of a sudden, the tables are completely turned. Iran is now spending 25 times more than the defenders. Their own strategy is now bankrupting them. And you might be wondering, yeah, but can they make enough of them? Oh, you bet. Ukraine's industry can pump out 800,000 of these interceptors every single year. They can supply as many as anyone could possibly need, which basically shatters Iran's whole strategy overnight.
So you see, this whole thing is about way more than just saving money and saving lives. This gives Ukraine a massive amount of geopolitical leverage, some serious new clout on the world stage.
And President Zelenskyy is not being subtle about this at all. I mean, read this quote. It's basically a global sales pitch. He's saying, listen up, world, we have a unique, battle-proven capability that nobody else has, and we're ready to share it with our friends. It's turning military know-how into a powerful diplomatic tool.
And let's just run through the wins for Ukraine here because there are a ton. First, it's a huge new source of revenue to fund their own war. Second, they can literally trade these cheap drones for the expensive Western weapons they desperately need. It also makes them an indispensable ally to the US, and it builds brand new defense partnerships with wealthy Gulf states. And finally, it's a huge diplomatic win, painting them as a helpful problem solver while Russia's busy helping Iran.
When you step back and look at this whole story, it really feels like a seismic shift in how modern wars are fought. The cheap, disposable drone used to be a trump card for some countries, but now it's been countered by an even cheaper, smarter, and more agile solution. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future, doesn't it? Are we watching the beginning of the end for those giant, multi-million-dollar air defense missiles?